Agriculture in Focus is a production of Part Agro Media. Part Agro Media is all about sustaining food security and agri-business. My name is Alpha Jackton. On today's episode of the program, we will be looking at agricultural mechanization. Mechanized agriculture does save labor and it enhances food productivity.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's program.
Thank you very much.
As we move on, agri mechanization, many believe, is the way to food sustainability. Others think otherwise. I am talking to an expert in this field who has invested well over 28 years into this field of human endeavor. Can we share your thoughts with us on this?
Thank you. Critically, if you get your mechanization structured very well, the application of it, the extension of it, which affects every value chain in terms of input application. Let me start by preparing the land. It was developing the land, preparing the land, and input application. If this is done precisely the way it's supposed to be done, with all the parameters and measurement done, the lead you have done almost 50 to 70%, what it takes to go to have a high yield in agriculture. So the truth is that mechanization, helps to increase productivity by hectare. Irrespectively of, say, probably at the stage of the land's preparation. When we prepare the land, you also need the machineries and the equipment and the tools to also apply the input. And all of this needs to be applied precisely, and you need mechanization. So truly, mechanization helps to boost food production, believe me, by about 65 to 70%.
Now, if that is the case, why have we always faltered? Because I know that different administrations are coming with different interventions as an attempt to mechanize our agricultural sector. But it doesn't just seem to be working.
Yes, you see, with my experience of serving several administrations at high executive level for over 2 decades, everything falls back to the type of model of mechanization that is being applied by the administration. Where you see, one of the greatest mistakes that we always make is not putting the type of land into consideration that you want to mechanize. Right now, nationwide, 95% of all the farmers all the farms in the country that live in the country, they are under school hectares. You get what I'm saying? And these lands are not well prepared. You understand? And even when they are well prepared, how you reach them with one tractor on? So that you see, for all to be mechanized and for the mechanization application to really, boost the food production and take up to the level to see we're really mechanized and see that increase in production, we need to configure land. The land has to configure in one place. You understand? Like say, for example, we have 100 hectares, 200 hectares, 300 hectares, 500 hectares. Do you understand? So you find out that all the extension application strategies that different value chain and department will be very easy to apply. So the previous administration, you understand how they're concentrating on mechanizing one hectare to 2 hectares, which is not really working. Now, the argument is that people will say, okay, if you go to China, in there, they don't have more than 2 hectares, 3 hectares. But what we find out is true, do you understand? But they are contiguous. So government can easily provide those services, you understand, to about 1,000 or 2,000. And they can bring factorization, and bring extension officers, that indicator of mechanization. Because what people don't understand, the mechanization, that is extension. In application of the input, there's also extension. In the management, there's also extension. So the mechanization extension officer will show people how to precisely plow, reach, and harrow and plant. So this is the same thing that
when it comes to operations, when it comes to administration, have we seen any form of nexus between government and the private sector?
Yes, at least one of the ministers that I served during the 4 years was able to achieve that 100%. Do you understand? He preached the gap. I'm the private sector person, but most people think, even when I left the ministry, just few about 2.5 years ago, they still call me a directors. They were thinking that well, I'm a public sector person. No, I'm a private sector person, but it's worth me to work with them. I consider myself then like as a bridge between the private sector, you understand, and the public sector. We did very well with distribute tractors the other time. But you see, it goes beyond distributing tractors. When you distribute tractor and the person you give the tractor don't have the money, or the person who's supposed to pick the tractor don't have the money to rent the tractor, what is he going to do? The land are not there. So you see, it is defragmented in terms of the operation that the tractor is supposed to carry. So this place I was able to do that, but immediately he let everything change.
Are these tractors in any way subsidized?
Yes, of course, they were subsidized by about 30%.
Now, the whole idea is that must you rent out these tractors? If you understand what I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to make is, can't you go out and then probably you prorate payment over time?
So let me get to your question very well. Must they use out the stock or must they rent out the stock? Who is using out or who's renting our government or the person who's the
I would have thought that government imports and then leaves out the private individual. Right? Because in most instances, they cannot afford to outrightly buy out this.
Yeah, let me, we have a limited time, you understand, for the audience to see. I'll just summarize it. The government does not have a problem but you run tractor right. The private sector should run tractor right.
That was actually my
good. Because what government should do, government should create an enabling environment. And we need to discuss this in a very enabling factors. You know, it's very, very important because the other government actually give out tractor, you know, as subsidized the price. Do you understand? But those factors that will make the tractor hiring model succeed were not implemented. Do you understand what I'm saying? So private sector should drive, you understand, the tractorization. Do you understand? But government should drive extension. Government should create financial, you know, enabling environment. You understand? A technical enabling environment, you know, make funds available to do some other things, which I would like us to discuss those factors.
You know, to a large extent, can you share with us, because as an expert talking to us in this field, the land channel system in Nigeria, a lot of experts have in the past criticized it. But the whole limitations, if we have to mechanize, as you did mention in your earlier remarks, looking at the way the land channel system operates, looking at land ownership in Nigeria, it appears we just may not.
You're right. And I tell you that if we want to get agriculture to the level that we're looking for in this country, that aspect has to be put into serious consideration. The very highly complex, you know, aspect of farming. You can see what happened in the previous when we're talking about the ranches and everything like that. You understand? But you see, having work with the government, you know, for a very long period of time, I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I've seen what, you know, why some projects are failing. And I've seen why some projects are succeeding, not only in this part of the country, from other parts of the country. We need to come up, you understand, with a highly innovative strategy, do you understand, to open up the land. If we go, but we have to wait for the government, you understand, to get all of this thing, all documentation done, then it will take a long time. But there is a program that we created called Rural Agricultural Development, which is called RAPS. In the RAPS, what we did was to do a kind of backward integration. We, the players, the input suppliers, the fertilizer suppliers, the big boys in the machinery tractors, do you understand? You know, the management, some things like IITA. We called ourselves that, okay, guys, we are spending billions of naira setting up our industry. But yet we can't set anything. Apart from Central Bank of Nigeria tools, which are giving money for alcohol borrower, you understand? If Central Bank is cut today, how are you going to fund your industry? So let's go back to the farming ourselves. So we are arranging whereby I open the land, they bring the input, we go over it. For the opportunities to have now,
all the topics there, this is as we take a break. The program is Agriculture in Focus. More factual. So before we go on break, you give us this wonderful scenario of how the big players came together action. Now, as it were, as states succeed.
Yeah, not shake together, coming together.
Oh, coming together.
We're just putting that together right now. Yeah, the consortium has been registered. Do you understand? We have the support of African Development Bank. You understand? We also wrote to Central Bank of Nigeria for also indicated interest. So we finalized the feasibility report where we have a partner already who already has 50,000 hectares, and Nana has 10,000 hectares in Kogi. We have another one in Kebbi State. You understand? And there's another one in 10,000 hectares also in Eagle State. So we're coming together, and that is what the partners are doing right now. We're working on the land, and from there we'll move to the field, and put our books together, and everything.
Have you made any attempts at reaching out to this new government?
I know the government, believe me, they are going to get it. But the truth is that if I have to sit down here and say, I need more time to advise them, the advice is not on the street, but let me summarize it. You understand? Rather agriculture, you need a good pilot. It's not that we don't have good agricultural structure. People keep on saying Minister of Agriculture, they don't know. To leave me good better. You know what? We have the institution, the officers, we have the manpower. They are just waiting for the right time. When my former boss, Dr. Akin Shimon, the current president of African Development, one knows that he proved it very well. But again, when he left, everything was pushed down. So what this government, what I would tell them now is, let them get a good pilot. And this is the criteria of the pilot. This person who's coming to drive the agriculture or to advise the president must have failed in agriculture and lose money and come up with it. And lose money and come up with it. Then we need to look at him right now. What is he doing? Is he still trending? Do you get what I'm saying? If you lost money at agriculture, I lost money for the past 10, 15 years, you know what it is. That is the criteria of the person who's going to come from the minister or advisor to with the way he thinks, out of the box. You see, we shouldn't go. I will advise that they shouldn't go and, I'm sorry to use this one, to get someone who is tired, after that patient to be the minister of agriculture, or someone who does not understand what it takes to problem on ground. He does not have the thick skin. He has not been in the mainstream of, the ups and downs, success and failure of agriculture, and he's still trending to now be minister of agriculture. We need a driver, and that is what we're actually using government to bring. We need a good pilot. Someone who understands the pricing, someone who can bring the private sector, bring the public sector, bring the government together. And then this guy is internationally exposed. Do you understand? When he speaks, the international partners will listen. He's able to bring it together now, take that and bring it forward without having fight with the ministries, because they have their own service. And that is why always the problems come. You bring the minister who does not understand their practice of power. So we need someone who has been there, who has made it, who has failed and made it, and is still doing it, he's still there. Someone who is not tired, who have the capacity to bring the private sector together, capacity to bring the public sector together, agree. Capacity, to be the international partner, and internationally he is exposed. This guy is going to take everything that our public teams are talking about and domesticate it, to create a model that drive agriculture level in the country.
Plus, we'll call it the Atharos TPs, or the Atharos TPs. The particular and so much technical time to share your expertise with us.